So just a few days ago, I made a video wherein I expressed the opinion forthrightly that you shouldn't get too hyped about a game such as Cyberpunk, because if it even slightly falls short of your expectations, you'll find yourself horrifically disappointed, and it can spoil the entire experience for you. That was the moral of the story of the video. If you haven't seen it, make sure to hop over and watch it. You know, the regular YouTuber plug thing. The point is that I made that video about getting overhyped. I didn't anticipate that trusting the word of the developers after multiple delays already would be in and of itself hype, or at the very least grounds for massive disappointment. But here we are, after repeatedly and categorically saying the game was going to launch in November, even the day before telling fans on their Twitter page that the game was launching in November. CD Projekt Red has delayed the game again by 3 weeks. Now listen, I get it. Game development is really hard. I just went back and watched Raising Kratos again, the documentary on the creation and development of the latest God of War game from 2018. I get it. Delays are often necessary. It's very tough. Bugs happen. Sometimes when you fix one thing, another thing breaks and you got to go fix that, and then 6 other things break, so you got to keep going down the line until hopefully eventually you put out all the fires before it gets out of control. But still, like, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. When you fool me, what has it been, like 3-4 times that this has happened? You told me it was coming out in April, you delayed it. You told me it was coming out in September, you delayed it. You told me it was coming out in November, you delayed it. Like, at some point, the fault lies on the developers, or rather the managers that are in charge of the scheduling, and you have to call it like it is, and call CD Projekt Red out for what is a botched release schedule. Their job is to release a game in a timely fashion that's of a high quality and to not mislead their fans. Say what you will, this is misleading fans, and it's frustrating. I'm still going to play the game. I have the collector's edition pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it like 2 years ago when I still worked at Best Buy. I couldn't even cancel it now if I wanted to, I'm pretty sure. But I'm still going to play the game. I'm just frustrated, and I think it's important to call CD Projekt Red out for, like I said, what has been a botched release. Maybe you can't even say that because the game hasn't even released yet. They haven't even gotten that far. But that being said, in light of the delay and all of this drama that's going on, it's pretty clear to me that there is one clear winner in this whole situation. It's not the gamers who were really excited for Cyberpunk. They definitely don't win out. Yes, they'll get a more polished game when it eventually launches, you know, in 50 years. You know, hashtag joke that's been hammered into the dirt. I don't think they win at the end of the day. Like, they were told they were getting the game. We were told we were getting the game in April, then September, then November, now December. We'll see if that sticks. Yes, it's just a video game, but at the end of the day, we're consumers interested in a product, and that product has repeatedly been delayed and pushed out. So, like, at some point, we deserve to be at least told the truth or given an indefinite timeline, I would think. Like, that's what Naughty Dog did when COVID hit and they didn't know what to do about The Last of Us Part 2. They delayed the game indefinitely until they had their feet under them, until they knew what was going on, and they ended up releasing just a couple months later. That's what I think you have to do. So, I don't know. It's frustrating. Point is, the gamers don't win. CD Projekt Red also definitely doesn't win. They've spent all of this money on marketing. They've spent all of this money on development up to this point, on publishing all of these release dates everywhere, putting out ads, commercials, everything. Now they have to redo all of it. They have to spend tons more on 3 weeks of intensive development, paying people overtime. It's a mess. The developers have to work late. They have to carry on crunch for another 3 weeks at least. It's just a bad situation for the developers. So CD Projekt Red doesn't win. So who the hell wins in all of this? To me, it's pretty clear. Ubisoft.
I won!
Just a few weeks ago, I made a video on Watch Dogs Legion where I broke down how the game actually looked pretty incredible. And I still think the game is really impressive. I have a video coming out later in the week where we're going to break down how the permadeath system works, and we're going to try to break it. It's going to be pretty fun, actually, so make sure to subscribe for that. Also, while I'm plugging stuff, follow me on Twitter. Links below. Just do it. It doesn't hurt. It's free. It's a click. Just do it. Point is, I made this video on Watch Dogs Legion. In that video, I broke down how I thought Ubisoft was in a really tough spot with their fall lineup, because they had to delay all of their games from late last year and early this year out to fall, winter, and spring of 2020 and 2021 because of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, to be honest, but a lot of other crap that's been going on with Ubisoft that is straight up unacceptable. But nonetheless, they delayed all of their games, and they're all set to release in this like 3-month window with Watch Dogs Legion, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They will soon have what was Gods and Monsters, but is now Immortals Phoenix Rising, coming out in December. All of these major AAA games coming out in a very short span of time. And I thought that really sucked, because Cyberpunk was going to dominate all of the coverage without a doubt. I mean, you could have the best Assassin's Creed game since 2, and it would still fall short of Cyberpunk, so nobody would really pay attention or particularly care. So I felt a little sympathy for Ubisoft. I thought they were in a tough spot. But even with that, I think the game was going to sell really well. Valhalla, that is. Now, I think Ubisoft's probably broken out the champagne. November is pretty much now going to be dominated by Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion. Because Watch Dogs Legion, which is releasing just now, and Valhalla, which is going to be coming out right in the midst of next-gen consoles and everything else releasing, both of those games are next-gen compatible, and they have free upgrades if you buy them on current-gen consoles. That's a big deal. That's a huge value add. And especially with next-gen consoles coming out without major first-party titles as exclusives, I think it's pretty compelling, especially on the Xbox side, because at least PlayStation 5 has Miles Morales and they have Demon's Souls. Miles Morales is kind of a spin-off of Spider-Man PS4, or just Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man. So I wouldn't count it as a major launch title for PlayStation. I'm sure they would, but I personally don't. And then Demon's Souls is great, but Demon's Souls, I do think that has a smaller appeal than something like Assassin's Creed, which bridges all barriers and gaps, all consoles, generations, everything. I think pretty much Ubisoft is set up to be the kingpins of this next-gen console launch, and I think they couldn't possibly be happier about it. I would be celebrating tonight if I were Ubisoft. And to be honest, I think it's okay, because I do think Assassin's Creed Valhalla has some really cool stuff. I've gotten to play about 10 hours of the game at various preview events that Ubisoft has done. I'll be doing a critique of the game, breaking it down in a very detailed way, of course, after launch when it comes out. So I'm going to break it down, and I do think there's a huge value there for gamers, and I think the game is phenomenal in many ways. I'll have to wait till I play the full thing to make up my mind completely, but I was kind of bummed that more people weren't going to get access to it, weren't going to try it and give it a chance, because they would just be totally diverted to Cyberpunk. Now they're going to give it a chance. And then on the other side, Watch Dogs Legion, while it has some quirks and some funny things with it, I think it's a solid B+ in terms of just solid open world dynamic gameplay. I mean, that game, say what you will, has probably the singularly most impressive dynamic game system that I've ever seen. The ability to recruit literally any NPC in the game world. Every single one has a schedule. They have relationships with each other in the surrounding area. You might run over somebody in your car when driving down the road to get to a mission, but you didn't even think about it. You're like, I bumped into somebody. It's whatever. It's an NPC. It doesn't matter. But that person could have been related to somebody that you're trying to recruit. And all of a sudden, that relationship won't work now. They're not going to join your legion because you ran over their brother. Like, it's so amazing just how detailed and in-depth it is. I'm really impressed with it. which is why I'm going to try to break it in that upcoming video. Again, subscribe below. So while we're all frustrated about Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red's inability to accurately predict when a product is releasing, I think it's not the end of the world. For one, like, it's a video game. It'll be okay. But also, like, we're going to have the chance to play some really phenomenal games. Yes, coming from Ubisoft. Yes, I know it's super popular to hate on them right now. And I think they've deserved and do deserve a lot of the crap that they do get, especially when you're talking about upper management, the way they've treated a lot of employees and all of the plethora of scandals that have gone on in the last year or so. That's completely justified and warranted. I think they deserve all of the hit back that they've been getting, and blowback rather, that they've been getting for all of that stuff. But at some point, it comes to the product that their artists, their employees, the employees that have been mistreated, that they've poured their hearts and souls and love into. They poured it into these products, into these games they've been working on for years. And those games are phenomenal. Even if the management that's above them are full of just total jerks. And I was going to say something else, but I don't want my channel removed. So even if it's filled with poopy people in the upper management, I think you still can look at the game. I mean, yeah, it gets into this whole debate over whether you can separate the art from the artist. Like, do you like Beat It? Yeah, I like Beat It. I think it's a great song. Well, do I like that Michael Jackson really liked little boys? Like, a lot? I don't like that. But can I still enjoy the song? I'm not sure. Like, it's a really iffy sort of philosophical question if you can separate the art from the artist, the product from the visionary, that type of thing. I don't know. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on that debate below, because I'm not sure if there is a right answer. It's just a fun kind of philosophical question. But if you have an answer, leave it below. Yeah, you click on a video about a Cyberpunk game delay and you get asked a philosophical question to answer in the YouTube comments. What the hell is this channel? But even so, I'm really excited. I think we're in store for some pretty phenomenal games here in the next few months and in the next year or two. Like, this is a phenomenal time to be a gamer, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So thank you for watching. Thank you for coming out. Make sure to like and subscribe. It does help. I have a new podcast that will be launching in the coming weeks, so make sure to subscribe for that. Follow me on my social media so you get notified of when that goes live and everything that's going on with that. And I also have a couple new team members that have been helping with the channel and that will have very visible positions sort of in our active upload schedule here on the channel very shortly. So look forward to meeting them in the coming days and weeks. The channel's about to kick into overdrive. We're going to do some stuff I've always wanted to do but didn't have the ability to do, and I'm very excited. So make sure to subscribe. Again, I say it 1,000 times, and I know you kind of get desensitized to it, but I ran the numbers. Like, only probably 15% of the people that will watch this video are actually subscribed. Isn't that, like, ridiculous? Like, that's insane to me. Just subscribe. Just do it. But that's all for me. Thank you for watching. I love you. Bye.